Well then, I thought I was going to need a little board. I did. As we got late in that third period, I thought, boy, I'm going to need the tiny board. I don't know how this is going to work because this doesn't have the lip on it that the other boards do, so I don't have somewhere to sit it. I'll have to stand and hold it like I'm Vanna White. Vanna White doesn't hold things. So I guess like I'm on Price is Right, but I don't really suit the aesthetic of the people on Price is Right, the beautiful people on Price is Right. Anyways, so I didn't have to worry about that tonight because this ended early in overtime. And this was a dramatic game that at times it dragged. It felt like it did, didn't it? There were times during this game that it felt kind of slow. But when this game turned up the intensity level, it turned it up pretty loud. And for Dallas, they came out and they played the physical game, and I think they outplayed Vegas at the physical game as well. So Reeves' line started out against the Benn line. So they put Benn, Sagan, and Radulov together, and it worked. And this is where people will say, well, why doesn't Dallas do it all the time? Because it doesn't always work. This is a line that has had its struggles, and it sometimes works, and sometimes it's a disaster. So for Dallas, they're together tonight, and it ends up being a pretty smart decision. Early chance for Alex Tuck. I thought he had his best game of the series so far. Stars nearly got one 3 minutes in. Benn then had a chance that was stopped. Jamie Benn had easily his best game of the series in this one. Both goaltenders looked sharp, but the shots were only 4-3 for Vegas at the halfway mark. And then they kind of take over in the second half of the first period. And Vegas has this scary ability to just take over games at will. Pacioretty takes a penalty. The Stars get a power play, but a very strong penalty kill by Vegas. And Nosek had a really good chance during that penalty kill. Now, Nosek ended up missing a portion of this game. We'll see how healthy he is for the next one. Of course, Nosek was out not that long ago, so on the upside, Vegas is used to playing without him. On the downside, it sucks to see him get hurt more than once in these playoffs. Carlson got a good chance. Vegas definitely had the edge in that second half of the first period. That was definitely some Vegas hockey going on there. Things get kind of scrummy with 4 minutes left. Then with 1 minute and 17 seconds left, Alexiak guilty of a trip, and Vegas goes to the power play, which rightfully made me nervous tonight. Theodore had an intercept, then a shot, which was saved by Hudobin. What is it with me knocking these down in these review videos? There's these little magnets I've got with this, and I need to either put them somewhere else because I put my hand on this, and of course I accidentally knock them off, and then you hear that on the video. I'm sure the microphone picks up everything. Okay, but second period still scoreless. Hudobin denied the opening Vegas power play. Vegas power play was very good to start that period, so it straddled the first and second, and it was effective in both the first and second period. Leonard then snagged a chance from Benn, and it was 13 minutes and 20 seconds between shots for Dallas. Now, I keep talking about these really long periods of time where teams don't get shots. It was happening again tonight, mostly to Dallas. Leonard then denied Kiviranta, who had a decent game. Lindell then had a chance, and Dallas was definitely better in the second period to that stage than they were in the first, and they would keep that up. And this is something that Dallas has going for them that Vancouver just didn't. Once Vegas was taking over, it just felt like that was it. They were just, imposing their will, and Dallas seems to have more fight back for it. And again, that comes with experience too. So I'm not trying to slag the Canucks here. It definitely comes with experience. The Stars had a 3-on-2 that just fails to connect, and then Stone hit the post after he stole the puck. He steals the puck, passes it off, gets it back, and just barely misses his chance. Leonard then stopped Kiviranta again. So Yoel Kiviranta with multiple chances and stopped by Leonard a couple of times there. And it looked like the first goal would probably win another one. Remember, in Game 1, Dallas wins 1-0. Game 2, Vegas wins 3-0. And this game, as we got through the second period, it really looked like whoever scores first wins. Kind of turns out that way, but not in the way that I was thinking it would. And second half, lots of pressure by Vegas. Nosek, though, was down the tunnel by that period. And again, I didn't see him come back into the game. Late chance for Sagan. He missed. Carlson breakaway was stopped by Hudobin. And this is where things get kind of interesting in that Hudobin looked like he was laboring. And that maybe he had some kind of a groin pull going on. So Sagan had a late chance that that just missed. Sagan continues to be frustrated when it comes to the goals. Carlson had a breakaway that was stopped by Hudobin, and then it's a breakaway the other way. And who gets it? Jamie Alexiak, who apparently has said he's using these playoffs to try to emerge from the shadow of his sister Penny. Good call. 4 years ago on this channel, I discussed Penny Alexiak's amazing run at the Olympics and how proud Canada was of her. And it'd be nice to see Jamie emerge from that shadow because it was something I mentioned 4 years ago. So Alexiak scores from Heiskanen and Como at 19:43. And it was a nice break. It was a nice goal. Leonard makes the initial save, and then in it goes. And it was a nice play by Alexiak. So it's 1-0 entering the second period. A minute and a half in, Leonard denied Sagan because Sagan's not allowed to have nice things. Klingberg then gets a delay of game penalty. Vegas goes to the power play. Pavelski then had a shorthanded chance, but Stone ends up stealing that away. So Stone playing very well at both ends of the ice tonight, which is not news to anybody who's followed Stone at all. Como then takes a penalty, and it's a minute and a second of 5-on-3 for Vegas, which means that Vegas takes a timeout. Good call. Right call. Take the timeout. 5-on-3. It's very important. You're down by 1. And Dallas wears down. Lindell blocked a Pacioretty shot. Vegas gets a post. The 5-on-3 was killed, but during the 5-on-4, it's a power play marker. It's Theodore from Stone and Marchessault at 3:49. That went over Hudobin's shoulder, and it ended a scoreless streak for both Stone and Marchessault. They've both been frustrated by the puck not going in, maybe getting assists here. We'll get Marchessault going and Stone. It did get Stone going. He would get on the board again later. Vegas, White Cloud nearly scored for Vegas. Heavy push by the Vegas Golden Knights after that goal. Clearly, they had made up their mind, okay, we're winning this. This is our game. And they held Dallas to very few shots. But of the shots Dallas got, they did pretty well. Ben would restore the lead at 2-1. He would score from Sagan at 7:35. So we'll see whether or not that assist for Sagan gets him going in this series. It was a 5-hole shot that went in. First goal by a Stars forward in the series. Vegas wasn't happy because they thought there was a penalty at center ice. And so they didn't think that goal should have been one that counted. And I don't know if Leonard was also among those who was upset going, wait a minute, that should have been a penalty. But it was the kind of goal that Leonard should have probably stopped that. It went right through him, 5-hole. And if he was distracted because he thought there was a penalty coming, I could understand that going in. I'm not trying to make an excuse necessarily, but he wouldn't be the first goaltender to allow a goal when he thought there should have been a penalty. Then Carlson got a chance Vegas pushed for an immediate answer. Foxa got hurt. He made his exit. So some guys getting hurt tonight. This has been a heavy hitting series and lots of shots and shot blocking. So it's not really a surprise. Carlson had a chance that was stopped. The shots were 9-2 for Vegas at 11 minutes. And I thought, boy, the shots were 9-2 and Vegas is down 2-1. This is one of those things that's got to start getting into their heads again, right? Like, last series and parts of this series too. And then Stone scores from Tuck and Carlson at 12:46. Hudobin was knocked down-ish. Now, they had a big debate about this during the intermission between the third period and the overtime. I'm going to go ahead and vote that was a good goal. Stone does contact the skate of Hudobin. I don't think that influenced Hudobin's ability to make the save. I don't think he was going to make it anyways. The problem is that the NHL says the contact wasn't a big deal because it was outside the blue paint. That doesn't feel entirely consistent. I'm pretty sure we've seen cases where it's been a ruled goalie interference where there's contact outside the blue paint. So, again, they had a debate about whether or not it should have counted. I'm on the side that it should have. I can understand it. But Stone gets that goal from Tuck and Carlson at 12:46, and it was Stone's skate that touched Hudobin's. Now, Bieksa said he felt that Hudobin embellished on that as well to try to get that call. I'm not going to deny that Hudobin does probably embellish at times. We know Ben Bishop does at times. Lots of goaltenders do because very often it works. Where they'll look at a play and go, wow, that goaltender had no chance there, and he gets knocked down by the other guy, and boy, that's too bad. Anyways, so the goal counts, which means that we see a power play for Vegas right after. So I thought this could be the game, right? So there were lots of chances on that power play. Vegas ended up with 5 shots on that power play in the 2 minutes. 5. And it was a dangerous looking power play. but Dallas holds on. Vegas had really taken over, and Hudobin looked hurt. So Hudobin makes the save. He did the splits, and it looked like he was hurt. And then there's a last second chance for Ben, and it looked like Leonard got hurt. So both Leonard and Hudobin going into the overtime both looked not great. Although Leonard did say to the trainer as he's skating off the ice, "No, I'm fine." It may just have been that he got bruised by a shot. But either way, Leonard and Hudobin both stay in the net for the overtime. And we go into overtime where both teams in these playoffs were 2-0. So neither of them had lost in overtime. And I didn't think this was going to last very long. The amount of energy we had in the second and third period, I felt that if we had some of that energy in the overtime, we'd get a goal pretty early. And it's Radulov from Pavelski and Ben at 31 seconds, posting in. And this is what I was talking about in the last game. Game 2, Radulov takes some frustrating penalties. And some penalties because he's frustrated. And then tonight, he gets the game winner in overtime. And that's the trade-off you get with Radulov. You'll notice Perry's not really on the board tonight. Pavelski was. Perry seems to be losing his prominence as this series goes on. But pretty impressive game by Dallas in the win. Pretty impressive bounce back by Hudobin as well. Hudobin allowed 3 goals on 27 shots in the last game. And as I said after the last game, it wasn't his fault. But resting him in that third period, maybe that helped. And he certainly seemed to be fresh tonight because this is a game Vegas, I will admit, Vegas probably should have won this game. They didn't. You look at the shots, they were 12-4 Vegas in the first, 14-10 Dallas in the second, 18-4 Vegas in the third, and then in the overtime, 1 shot by Dallas. It's the shot that matters. Final shots 40-23 in favor of the Vegas Golden Knights. Hits 55-42 for Dallas. Not a surprise since Dallas was losing the puck possession game. So they had more hits because they didn't have the puck as often as Vegas did. Power plays, 1 for 4 for the Vegas Golden Knights, 0 for 1 for Dallas. Robin Leonard, 20 saves on 23 shots. Hudobin, 38 saves on 40 shots. And we'll see whether or not either of these goalies maybe aren't good to go in the next game, or whether Vegas says, all right, we'll go to Fleury in game 4. We'll see what happens. So far, it's been a case of Leonard's the guy. But with the amount of games that these goalies have played in such a short period of time, they even stated that Hudobin, I think it's 16 games in 36 days, and it ties a record. Something Ron McLean said ties a record in his career. It's a lot of hockey for Hudobin, and it's a lot of hockey for Leonard, and it's possible that one or the other may need a night off in Game 4. I don't know that happens because it's Game 4 of the conference finals, so you're not very likely to need both goaltenders or want to have to use both goaltenders. And it's not like Leonard or Hudobin are going to want to say, well, I'll sit this one out. For Dallas, they're now up 2-1. If they can win Game 4, they put themselves in a pretty solid position. For Vegas, again, the next game, we're in must-win territory. It's strange because Vegas hasn't been behind in a series before this series with Dallas, and now they're behind for the second time, and they got to fight their way back. And again, they find themselves being upstaged by the other team's goaltender. Now, I don't have the 3 stars on the board, so let me go ahead and go into the summary. Oh, it doesn't have the 3 stars in there yet. Sometimes it's late posting them. Hudobin, Radulov, and Shea Theodore were the 3 stars tonight. And yeah, so again, a goaltender against Vegas is the first star. This is an ongoing theme, and it's one that has to be driving the Vegas Golden Knights crazy. And I'm sure that it's driving fans crazy as well. So we'll see what Vegas comes up with in the next game. I don't know what else they can do. They had a lot of traffic in front of Hudobin. They had some really good shots. He just was really good tonight. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.